Well, welcome everybody. 4:30 is the work session for our October the 19th board meeting that will take place a little bit later. So I'd like to say thanks for everybody coming and being here with us. If you're not familiar, our work sessions typically are department head updates where we go through and just get updates on all that's happening within departments, and the board can ask questions of anything that's going on. And then any general discussion that comes from that. At 5 o'clock, we're actually time boxed today a little bit more. We will have a public hearing on a couple of different requests that we've had to close off a couple portions of roads. And so we'll go through those public hearings at 5 o'clock, and then we'll have our regular meeting at 5:30. So we kind of triple deck the meetings on top of each other. So I would like to say thank you and welcome for everyone that's here. Department head updates coming, and I'm going to start off with, I was going to mix it up a little bit. Chief, I know we've got some items on the agenda tonight for Talking Rock Fire. Are you prepared by any chance to give just a little update, or are we going to save that just for when we go through the documents?
I can give you an update.
Okay, just to kind of know the history behind what all's on there.
Yeah. What you'll have on the agenda tonight is you got 3 items. First item will be a resolution where Pickens County will be assuming the responsibility of providing fire protection for the area that's been previously provided by Talking Rock Volunteer Fire Department. Volunteerism in general across the nation, not just here, is just down, and they've struggled, and they'll tell you they've struggled trying to keep people. Everybody wants paid now for everything, you know, but I've met with the chief and assistant chief, and they're in support of Pickens County taking over that responsibility and working together. And I believe when it's all said and done, we'd probably get a better insurance ISO rating than they previously had working on that. So that'd be one of the first items that you're taking. I think it's in the best interest of everybody, and it'd make it easier on even the volunteers. The volunteers are going to continue to serve the ones that are there, very supportive of it. So we'll be moving forward with that, and for your approval tonight. Now, in addition to that, their fire station is inside the city limits of Talking Rock and inside a city-owned building. So another item that'll be presented for your approval is a inter-agency agreement for us to lease agreement to occupy that building and keep those trucks in there. We do have 2 fire trucks in Talking Rock Fire Station. It is owned by us, and we maintain them. Then your third item will be the intergovernmental agreement. With that being the city, Talking Rock Volunteer Fire Department was not a city fire department. So since you got municipality sitting there, that'll be an agreement for y'all to approve, and for them eventually to approve for us to provide services inside the city limits, assuming it overall. So that's in general, without getting into a whole lot of details on it, if that helps.
No
questions?
From our conversation before, once we move forward with this, that triggers ISO's setting up a date for a reinspection.
It will.
In the near future, that they will come back to reinspect, and so we get that part going. I think it's important.
It'll be a step-by-step process. We'll have to call the state in first. Firefighter standards and training now that have to come in, and we got to fill out some forms to get it transferred over into actually Pickens County Fire. So we'll get that done first, and probably somewhere after the first year, move forward with ISO, and they'll come in. They're slowly moving this way now. They just finished up with the city of Woodstock. They're hitting Cherokee County in December. We haven't been contacted, but I feel like we're in the radar. They'll be coming up here soon.
And then one other update that goes along with this that's not on the agenda tonight is one that we approved previously, was on the purchase of the property from Talking Rock. The perk test was just done. We're waiting to get the report on that. As soon as that report's in hand, we'll be prepared to set up the closing date. So that is still moving forward. So this lease agreement is for the time that we would still be in City Hall until the construction of the new fire station. So it's not a long-term lease. It's just a lease in the process of while we get that constructed. So that is still moving forward.
I didn't know what the status of that, whether they report on that or not, but they're aware of that as well, the volunteers, that we're moving forward. Hopefully have a new station nearly completed this time next year, close to it, maybe.
I'm hoping before.
Yeah. Me too.
We're optimistic, but I'm
Me
hoping
too.
before. We haven't got to the bid part yet, so we'll find that out then. Any questions?
No, that's excellent. Good work on getting all that taken care of.
Put a lot of work into that. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we'll move on back to Parks and Rec / elections. Back in the back with Brian Chung.
So we do have the elections. It's been very quiet with the municipal elections this go around. The traffic's been really down, but been working really good with the elections department as far as getting the room set up and everything. So that's been good. As far as athletics goes, basketball numbers are going to pretty much shake out just like they did last year as far as numbers go. We'll start working on, we've been trying to contact coaches. We'll do skills evaluation and draft Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And then we're playing basketball from that point. Same time, we're slowly finishing up with football. We have this weekend and next for the regular season. It's looking like we're going to have 3 teams make it to the playoffs. Our K and first grade team are undefeated, and our second grade team's only lost 1 game, and then our 5th grade team's only lost 1 game. So they'll definitely make the playoffs. 6th graders right there on the cusp. And then we'll have 1 round of playoffs, and then the Super Bowl will be in Lumpkin County this year. Yeah. So that will be finishing up here pretty soon. I wanted to thank Kirk and the road department. They helped us out with a pipe in between fields 2 and 3 that had failed. And they came out there and scratched it up for us and got her sealed up. So I appreciate that very much. Other than that, grass is starting to slow down. So we're starting to get some projects knocked off on the list, including working at the pool right now. So
Favorite place.
working at the pool is it's a year process. I mean, we're chipping on it now, and then we'll start trying to button everything up when it gets warmer in the spring, and then open it in the summer. So yeah.
I know we took all the information in from the town hall and then from the joint meeting with it. So I think we'll be in the next couple of months, we'll be starting to prepare to pull the trigger on some improvements there. I know it may be preemptive to dive into the order of which they'll happen, but I know we're about to get ready to get that started.
Yes, sir.
Any questions? I think I jokingly said he was with Board of Elections too, with them holding the early voting in the community center. I think they were at 42 voters as of yesterday was the email that I saw. So it has been a low turnout. So anybody watching that lives in the city of either Jasper or Nelson, don't forget that the early voting runs for 3 weeks, and then you'll have election day too. I think there's 2 Saturdays within there. I know they're advertised. I know they're in progress. I've seen them, and I think I saw them where you had shared them on No Pickens as well. So I have seen those both out there. If you're watching and waiting for time to vote, it is time to vote. So
Yeah, it's very quiet. So anytime you want to come by.
good. Mr. Anderson, I've seen paving crews all over Cove Road, so at least you get to give fun updates of work in progress.
Work in progress, finally. In fact, they should probably, barring any bad weather, should finish Cove Road next week. They're going to be working on car ramp. They're going to go back and do any of the tie-ins and car ramp next week. And talking to foreman today, they said they're probably going to move to Revis Mountain Road next, and then do Worley and Ray Mountain Road after that. They're looking to finish that contract somewhere around the 1st. And then they had another project that's going to go do for a couple of days and then come back and start on Jerusalem Church Road. The other crews, got one still cutting trees or mowing, like they said, the grass cutting's kind of slowing down, so we're getting on to other projects. We've got crews cleaning ditches and pipes and getting ready for winter. We got the salt barn filled up last week, and we got the start up on the brine machine here in the next couple of weeks, so we're in the changing of the seasons. Oh, we're still thinking.
Yeah, our winter paving project is going to go while we're preparing the brine. I think Jerusalem, and I know when we approved the bids back in the spring, it's a patch and pave process. So kind of what happened on Cove Road, we patched last year, paved this year. Jerusalem, they're both going to be occurring at the same time this year. So there'd be a lot of patch in some areas that need pace, and then coming back in and paving on top of that. So it should be repaired well.
But there's not going to be a year in between them.
But there won't be a long gap. And I don't know if you've drove Cove Road recently on the newly resurfaced part. I know the first part was a thin coat, it was just a leveling coat, and in all honesty, it drove like a new road in my
Yes,
opinion
it's nice.
compared to before, and then now they're putting the actual asphalt, it's smooth. I drove it yesterday just to went all the way through to see how smooth it was. So it's coming along well and should be good. Roads questions? You guys got?
Keep up the good work.
Graham, when's our next day? It's the first of each month?
First Monday of each month. Which, I'm told it'll be a headline between you and Kurt.
A dueling match. So, we actually talk a lot about paving. I think the conversation for the next one is going to be spending a lot of time about paving, answering common misconceptions, questions, costs, all that fun. So, we'll get that up and going. Anything else? Looking around it, who's trying to avoid eye contact and see who's next. Emily's actually making eye contact, so we're going to the animal shelter next. So jump right in.
All right, on November 11th, from 10 to 1, we're going to do a free adoption. Try to get the animals placed in homes before Thanksgiving. We're also going to have some finger foods, cider, things like that. So if you can't adopt, at least stop by and come meet the staff, grab a snack, some cider, coffee. We'll probably have some coffee, and just say hey. But we've been pressure washing the inside of the building, trying to get everything cleaned up in there. And then just running calls, really. We've been really busy on calls.
Are y'all gonna plan another Christmas event similar to
Yeah,
last year?
maybe we'll get Slime to be a Santa
With Santa
again.
Claus there.
Or if anyone wants to volunteer to be a Santa,
What was that date?
Ryan Clinton.
do it.
What was that date?
It's November 11th from 10 to 1. And we just got that posted up today, so it's kind of fresh.
I'll add you to my calendar.
Speaking of calendars, anybody that I know we went over the proclamation on it last week, but the Serve Pickens Day is coming up this Saturday. There's groups of volunteers that they're going to plug volunteers that want to go out and volunteer time working at nonprofits all throughout the county. That'll be starting this Saturday at 9 o'clock. They're going to meet at Jasper United Methodist Church and then disperse out to go do volunteer projects. So anybody that's not already previously signed up, definitely jump on servepickens.com, I think is their website, servepickens, it is.com. Jump on there and I'm sure they still have some opportunities to plug people in that want to get out and see. Last year they had over 200 volunteers that went out and worked all throughout the county, so we're hoping this year will be a similar turnout, if not greater. It would be nice. Miranda, how is the software conversion process going?
Well,
It's going.
it's going. I knew Sandy would have something to say. So far, the financial part has went live. We're doing all of our work in there, but we've still got accounts receivables to go. We've got, purchasing and payables is up. Let me just say that. And so payroll has been doing their part this week, last week I think too. So we're moving along. It's just a slow process. But we're anxious and ready to get away from our old software, so there's that.
It's always the fun transition when you get to use both softwares at the same time.
Yeah, that's been a nice little challenge, but hey, it's fine. We got it.
Good. Anyone else over on this side has updates?
One thing,
They want to jump into?
Vaughn wants me to say it's great. This world's good. We're all good.
Go ahead, Paul.
I'd like to brag on the sheriff's department. Whoever got the vendor to do the camera work in the school zone, y'all got a real good company.
Heck yeah. Look how clear that picture is.
Oh yeah, it's me.
The good news is, up to this point, I think they're just mailing warnings, correct?
Exactly.
So it's not the actual anything that's going to require payment.
I'm trying to sound a warning.
I remember receiving one from Cherokee County where I was going through their school zone, and you saw my goofy face through the window of the truck driving right along, and so kind of hard to say it wasn't me.
Don't be doing 38 when it's a 25, that's all I'm telling you. But one comment I would like to make, because I think there's gonna be some confusion. I usually come through the Hill City area, and you got one sign that forever has said it's 45 when flashing. That sign does not flash most of the time. There's a smaller sign that tells you there's a time period. We're catching on to that, but maybe you need a bigger sign for that, and maybe either take the flashing sign down or make sure that the flashing light works, because that is very confusing for people.
At Tate, you need to check the one at Tate last year when we were having to take our granddaughter to school. It didn't seem to be flashing early enough.
Okay, I'll get it. So both of those are on state highways. So the state DOT's been working with the sheriff's office and with the contractor that they've had working on the cameras. So I'll make sure, well, I know Sandy's back there. She'll make sure the sheriff's aware of it too, because they've been in constant conversation with each other to watch and monitor.
But this was on the zone I usually don't go through, is the middle of the day. I didn't really realize it. But y'all gonna make a lot of money on them people from Gordon County in the morning, I'm just telling you.
Well, Gordon County's been making it on all of our people for a long time in Fairmount.
We're fixing to reciprocate.
Yeah, we've had employees in county vehicles that have actually had those that we received and had to track down who was actually driving the vehicle a couple of years ago. We hadn't had that in a long time, so I think maybe that took care of itself. Yeah, I laughed when I got mine. Not really, I was having to pay mine because it wasn't a warning. It was an actual ticket. Well, we will wrap up the work session. Like I said, at 5 o'clock, we will kick off the public hearing. We'll go through and discuss those 2 points, and anybody that has any comments that they want to make, we'll definitely listen to all that's coming in through it, and then we'll have our meeting at 5:30. So you get an intermission for a few minutes, and take advantage of it if you need to use the restroom or socialize, and then we'll start back up at 5 o'clock. Thank you.